They were warriors, they were explorers, they were conquerors. For centuries, their names struck fear into the hearts of kings and commoners alike. With axes in hand and fire in their eyes, the Vikings reshaped the world. But they were far more than just raiders from the north. They were pioneers, traders, legends. And their legacy still echoes across oceans, across time. Welcome to Everything Unraveled. This is the untold story of the Vikings, from their meteoric rise to the legacy that still shapes us today. 793 AD, a day that changed history forever. On the quiet shores of Lindisfarne, England's most sacred monastery stood in peace. Until the storm came. To the people of Europe, they were demons from the sea. To the Vikings, this was just the beginning. They didn't stop at monasteries. The hunger for gold, land, and glory drove them further. They sailed their legendary longships up rivers, straight into the hearts of great cities. Paris, the jewel of the Frankish Empire, thought to be untouchable. But in 845 AD, the Viking chieftain Ragnar Lothbrok proved otherwise. He took the city and forced the king to pay a ransom of 7,000 pounds of silver. So how did they strike so fast? Their secret weapon, the Drakkar, the mighty longship. Built for speed, engineered for stealth, they could sail open seas, slip into shallow rivers, and land directly on enemy shores. No fortress was safe, no river too narrow. They appeared like ghosts, and vanished just as quickly, leaving behind only ash and ruin. But who was Ragnar Lothbrok? A fearless warrior, a cunning king, a legend. Was he real, or just myth? Some say he was a simple farmer who rose to greatness. Others believe he was a fusion of many Viking leaders woven into one legendary figure. One thing is certain, his name struck fear across continents. But the Viking saga doesn't end with men. The Old Norse stories speak of the Shieldmaidens, warrior women who fought with honor and fire. Were they real? Historians still debate. But graves filled with weapons and armor tell a story of their own. And one name rises above them all, Lagertha, the warrior queen. As Ragnar's legend grew, his sons carved their own paths. Bjorn Ironside, driven by ambition, sailed far beyond Scandinavia. From the frozen north to the sunlit Mediterranean, he was more than a warrior, he was an explorer. A conqueror, a Viking unlike any other. And 500 years before Columbus, another Viking crossed the Atlantic. Leif Erikson. He reached the strange, distant land the Norse called Vinland, what we now believe was North America. Archaeology suggests it may have been the first European settlement in the New World. But the Vikings weren't only warriors. They were master traders. They reached Constantinople. They served in the Byzantine Empire. And even traded with the Caliphate of Baghdad. They didn't just raid the world, they connected it, building a global economy long before the modern age. Not all Vikings stayed warriors. Some settled, some allied with kings, and changed the course of history. In France, the Viking leader Rollo was granted land, and so Normandy was born. This land would one day give rise to a new conqueror, William the Conqueror, who would forever alter England's destiny. But the age of Odin, Thor, and Freya was fading. Christianity spread, kings converted, and the old ways began to disappear. Some Vikings embraced the new faith. Others fought to keep their gods alive. But change was inevitable. Then came 1066. Stamford Bridge. Harold Hardrada, the last great Viking king, rode into one final, glorious battle. And with his fall, the Viking Age ended. The Norsemen who once terrified Europe were now part of its kingdoms. But make no mistake, the Viking spirit never died. It lives on in films, in music, in stories, and maybe even in you. If you have Northern European ancestry, there's a chance you carry Viking DNA. Their blood runs in the veins of millions. Their legacy, it's not just war, it's resilience, honor, strength, in battle and in life. The Viking Age may be over, but the legend lives on. If this journey through history stirred something in you, leave a like, share your thoughts in the comments, and join our legendary crew by subscribing to Everything Unraveled.